No changes? Tell me when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I'll call this meeting of the,
Can't hear you.
how about now? Is
Better.
that better?
That's better.
Good. Okay. Calling this meeting tonight of the Board of Commissioners for Anson County together. And the first item on the agenda, I guess I'll need to address, is the election. Since this is the first Monday of the year after an election, and per that law of the state, we have to elect a chairman and a vice chairman to serve for the next 12 months. So I'm going to open up nominations right now for the chairmanship.
Nominate Commissioner Caldwell for chair.
Second.
Okay, got one nominee so far, Commissioner Jamie Caudill. Any other nominations? If none, then all in favor of electing Commissioner Jamie Caudill as the chairman to serve in 2026, please say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay, next item, the election of a vice chairman to serve for the next 12 months here in Anson County.
Nominate Mr. Mims.
A second? All right, there's a motion and a second. Any other nominations? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor of electing Commissioner Mims as the vice chairman, please say aye.
Aye.
Again, it's unanimous. Nominations are hereby closed. The 2 seats are filled. We're taking a short 2-minute break so we can change seats and the chairman can get back to his rightful place. And I'm going to slide down to the left.
Nice knowing you. Been a pleasure since that.
Well, I'm wishing you all really comport with you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Didn't mean to.
Figure it out real quick.
I couldn't hear you. I know. Okay. All right.
I think that's his phone. You got mine in my pocket. No, it's Lynn's phone. I guess.
That's
Mine?
Lynn.
All right.
You don't know. I don't either. Okay, all right, I appreciate that. Appreciate the vote of confidence in serving as the chairman for another year. We're going to go ahead and start with our invocation. So I'm going to call Apostle Michael Chambers, Believers Christian Center Church. Come to the podium, please.
Good to see everybody again. Let us go to the Father in prayer. Father, we thank you for this opportunity, God, just to invoke your presence, to be in the midst of these elected officials as they put their minds together, oh God, to make the right choices and decisions concerning the county of Anson. We give you praise, God, and we bless them right now. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you for that, Apostle Chambers. So, all right, we're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance now, so if you'll stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read our ethics statement. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearances of conflict. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to any matter coming before the board tonight? If so, please identify the conflict and refrain from any undue participation in the particular matter involved. All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Gatewood, second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Now we're going to move into our public hearing. So I will entertain a motion to enter into public hearing for the 2026 reevaluation of schedule, standard, and rules for real property values.
So moved.
We have
Second.
we have a motion by Commissioner Lou Reed, second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're now in the public hearing.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're required by general statute to have a public hearing due to this process that we're going through on the,
We're being told we can't hear you, and we'll make sure the mic's on.
is it on? Yeah.
And you could take it out of the holder if you need to.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay. We're required by general statute to have a public hearing on the 2026 revaluation. On November the 18th, you received a copy of the 2026 schedule. Tonight, we're here to address any questions you might have or any questions that there might be here from those who are here in the public. I have with me here tonight Bob Pearson and David Balcom with Vision Government Solutions. This is not to adopt the schedule of values. It's here exactly for what it's said to be, a public hearing. The schedule of values after this meeting will actually be the next meeting that we have, and it will be presented to you for adoption on December the 16th at 6 p.m. at the regular meeting. And I make a note that that is going to be held at the Anson County Courthouse. And our publications that are in the paper also indicate that also. We will continue to run this even after the adoption on the 16th for 4 weeks, because as we move through this thing, you'll see that there's several opportunities to appeal. And so that doesn't settle it even when you're adopted on the 16th. But that's for the public and for any questions too that might come up that you would have. We have to give that 30 days after you adopt it for someone to come up and contest it or to bring an appeal before the county. The schedule of values are on display downstairs in the tax office. We're glad to answer questions. If you have citizens that have questions, if you would just direct them to us. If you're not comfortable answering them, we'll be glad to take care of that. Once we get through the schedule of values and the appeal process, the 30 days after, the values, the new 2026 values, which certainly haven't gone out and won't go out till about February of 2026. Every property owner will get a card showing their new value. At that point, in other words, they'll have the opportunity to appeal that value and to discuss it with us in the tax office. And there's actually several levels of that. There's an informal process, and then there's a formal process. And then if we don't settle them on the county level, then they end up at the Property Tax Commission in Raleigh. So that's kind of the process we're in right now. We're here tonight to answer any questions you might have and any questions that the public might have.
Okay. And that's just on the schedules of the values, not the actual physical value of someone's property yet, just how they determine what their value is going to be.
That's right,
Yeah.
right. This is the schedule that will calculate
Yeah.
what that assessed value is.
Okay. And you said the homeowner or property owner would know what their actual value is come February?
Yes.
Okay.
Come February, and they'll have an opportunity then to appeal
Appeal that.
the assessed value. And of course, at that point, The rate hasn't been set because y'all haven't,
That's-
you know, finished the budget process at that point. But, any questions, we're glad to answer. Any questions from the public, we're glad to answer. But, at this point, we'll, turn it back over to you.
One thing I have, Mr. Newton, can you give your number to your office for the citizens here in the county?
A phone number?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they can call the 704-994-3290. And that is the general number coming into their office, and it rings all the phones.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. If you have any questions?
Any other questions for,
Bob
Mr.
are
Meeks?
here and David's here. They'll be glad to assist in answering any of the questions you might have.
All right, hearing no questions here, are there any questions from the audience members? All right,
Make a motion, we come out of the public hearing.
Second.
we have a motion to close public hearing by Mr. Gatewood, second by Commissioner Mims. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So we are now back into the general meeting. We do not need to adopt anything tonight, is that correct? Okay. All right, moving on to our consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Mims, second by Commissioner Leary. Any discussion on the consent items? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, now next to appearances. First up, we have Sheriff Scott Howe.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're here today to commemorate and congratulate Major Paxton for his 30-year retirement for the sheriff's office here, and the resolution has been turned in. He has a choice of his firearm. It's not in the case here tonight. It'll be presented to him later on this week because he chose a long gun rather than a handgun. And so we'll give that to him at the sheriff's office rather than do it here today.
Is that in the resolution?
Yes, sir.
I apologize, I did not know I'm gonna read this resolution.
Page 79.
Resolution honoring Major James Paxton for retiring from law enforcement service and to declare his badge and service weapon as surplus county property. Whereas Major James Paxton began his career with the Anson County Sheriff's Office on August 26, 1996, and was assigned as a detention officer at the Anson County Detention Center. And whereas Major James Paxton devotion to and dedication to the Anson County Sheriff's Office, as well as his continued service and successes in the area of law enforcement throughout his years of service, and are thereby acknowledged and congratulated. And whereas in accordance with North Carolina General Statute, Chapter 20, Article 187.2, governing boards are authorized to honor retiring law enforcement officers by presenting the badge worn during office as well as the service weapon carried during their years of service. Whereas Major James Paxton has served as a member of the Anson County Sheriff's Office Detention Center, and his retirement from the Anson County Sheriff's Office on July 31, 2025, be acknowledged as the official date. And now, therefore, be it resolved that as a token of gratitude to Major James Paxton for his many years of service and law enforcement in Anson County, the Anson County Board of Commissioners hereby formally implements the authority granted by the general statutes of North Carolina by presenting the badge worn by Major Paxton on his tireless contributions to the citizens of Anson County. Be it further resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Anson County hereby declares as surplus property his Glock 22 to be presented as to Major James Paxton. Adopted this first day of December 2025.
Give you a little background. Give you a little background on Major Paxton here. I often tell you when I come here and people retire, I will never be able to hire someone that could replace them where they were at when they left. Major Paxton done a little bit of everything at the sheriff's office. He was a patrol officer. He was our civil officer. He was our DARE officer for 15, 20 years. He worked in the jail, became the jail administrator, and worked at the courthouse. And so he's done a little bit of everything. So when I say it's going to be hard for him to replace, then it is because he's actually done everything over at the sheriff's office. And the good thing about that is through the years, he passed his experience on to other people that worked under him and with him, so that our department has grown because of the experience and everything else that he brought to the sheriff's office. So we're really gonna miss him. I know he has other things that he's moved on to in his life. He now is working with the school police over in Richmond County, so he's involved back in the school system, and I know that he'll do a great job with them, and I wish him well.
I'll just say it's been a privilege and an honor to serve the citizens of Anson County. I came from Richmond County, moved over here, but now I'm full-fledged Insonian. And I want nothing but the best for the county and the people.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We
Thank you
appreciate it,
for
Mr.
your
Paxton.
service.
Thank you for your dedicated service to Anson
Yes,
County.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Up next, we're going to move to Miss Rashonda Terry with a report from Anson Cooperative Extension.
Chairman Caudle, Assistant Chair Mims, County Manager Sossaman, Assistant County Manager Addison, Clerk Adams, County Attorney Forbes, everybody, good evening. I bring you greetings from the Anson County Cooperative Extension Office here in Waynesboro, North Carolina. This is our yearly report to the people that we do. If you look in your package, you will see not only you have our infographic of 2024 year-end impacts, but you actually have an infographic from each programming area that our office entails and that has a body in that position. I think last year we was down one person. This year we're down 3. So we went from a staff of 10 to a staff of 7, and one position we completely lost due to shortages and unknowns of finances. So we'll now be, when we become fully staffed again, we'll just be 9, and that's okay. My staff has been an awesome team this year and past years, but more so this year with the losses that I had to individually endure. They came up, they pulled up the slack, and they moved like we were a fully functioning staff even when I was handling my own grief. So I cannot be more proud of my team. Their words and their actions speaks for them. Their programming and their outreach says a lot about their invested stake that they have in this county when not all of them are from this county. And their determination and their creativity shows that they see that there is a need and they want to attack it from all sides and always possible to have the impacts that are needed from all audiences. So if you have any questions about what's in your packet, you can ask me. We have a little short video from our Farmers of the Year, which is the Halls. They are a small local farm here in Anson County. And if you don't have anything, I will have Barry to hit play on that.
All right. Thank you.
All right, I'm David Hall,
And I'm Lisa Hall.
and we're Harvest to Home Farms. So we started back in 2019. with the intention of getting out of the grocery store was our primary goal. And then there was more and more interest for the products that we were growing for ourselves, which at that point in time was predominantly broiler chickens and beef. We went down the path of securing our meat handler's license, and we secured the certifications to be able to process poultry here on the farm. So from that, we've grown and actually started the farm in 2020, and over the last 5 years or so, we went from processing about 50 chickens a year to this past year we did right at 800 for 2025. And we sell directly to the public both here and at the Anson County Farmers Market online, and anybody can come out and actually purchase from us or reach out to us, and we meet at different locations. So we're actually selling pork, beef, chicken, individual cuts, quarter shares and half shares or wholes of the beef. We're doing 5 to 6 cows a year, 4 to 5, 6 hogs a year, and like I said, this year we did 800 broilers. We also do layers and the honeybees.
We started the honeybees last year with 1 hive, and we expanded to 2 hives this year when we decided to swarm, and I got to catch them all by myself. It was great.
Collected your first honey?
Collected my first honey, got about 20 gallons.
20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yeah, we wish 20 gallons.
Ooh, 20 gallons would be nice. 20 pounds. Milk cows, we have 2 milk cows this year. We started the year before last, 2023 with 1, and she had her baby with us. It was our first calf born on the farm, and we had milk for our own personal use and made butter, sour cream, yogurt, cheeses, you name it, I was making it, having a blast. Then our second milk cow, she finally got big enough, and now we're going to have 2 milkers this year, so we're excited about that. We have the usual. We've got teenage laying chickens growing out right now. We're going to have to be moving them out of their little home now. They're ready to get back onto the ground, and that's about it. What you got else?
And then we do our own feed. Like I said earlier, we buy local grains from the local farmers, so non-GMO grains and corn from a local farmer here about 12 miles out from us. And we produce our own grain, our own feed here on the farm, so it's all custom mixed. We do that for pork, beef, and our chicken. The hogs, we keep them about a year and a half, and then about the same for the cows. And then the chickens, we run them 8 weeks and process them. And then the layers, they rotate out every couple of years. We'll rotate out the laying flock, and then we just keep everything rotating and moving. We've got about 5 acres that we utilize here. My mom's gracious enough to let us use, and we rotate our animals through it, and we try to build the soil. We move the hay around as we're feeding the animals, feed them in different locations, try to put everything back onto the ground and actually build the soil, build the grass, and keep the animals in rotation, keep them moving, and try to keep everything as natural as possible. We don't administer any antibiotics or hormones in our feed, and it's just all natural minerals. That's all we do.
Yeah,
So
we added a new section of land. We bought some more land a couple years ago, and we're working on getting that fenced in and ready to roll to move the calves with, and the calves and cows.
yep, and that's part of our future plan,
Part of our future plans.
to be able to raise our own cows here on the farm instead of having to buy them. So we're going to start working on that over the next couple of years. Is our goal. So
For us, it's important that we knew and controlled where our food was coming from, and then as we became more, I guess, popular and people started looking to us for their food source, it's important to us also that they know where their food comes from. And we welcome our customers out all the time, bring their kids. We let them come around, tell them put the dirty shoes on because we're fixing to walk through some mess, and let them all see the animals. And it helps because there's a lot of people who don't realize what goes into running a farm and where their food comes from and how it's being produced, and that's important to us that they know that.
What it,
Customer education.
yeah, what it takes to get it from here on the pasture to actually on the plate at their house, and how it's handled, and handling it humanely and with care. That's the biggest pieces of it, making sure it's done right. So.
Are you struggling with dull, low-quality knives? Forget about it. Introducing Sato Knives.
All right, thank you, Miss Terry, for that wonderful video. Speaks my language watching that video. So, I'm proud to say that those folks are from Peachland, the great city of Peachland up there. I want to say thank you for everything you do in cooperative extension for the citizens of this county. So, agriculture plays a huge part here. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
all right. Somewhere up here. We're going to go into our public addresses to the board. So there shall be a time set aside at each regular meeting of the board for public comment. Each citizen who wishes to speak during this time must sign up on a sign-up sheet prior to the start of the meeting. Each citizen shall be allowed 3 minutes for their presentation. All citizens are expected to follow proper decorum and shall not use profanity nor defamatory speech. The public is expected to remain seated except when leaving the room. Only presenters listed on the agenda or recognized by the chairman will be called to the podium. Commissioners are expected not to comment on matters brought to the board during this time, but to delay action or comment until staff has had an opportunity to research the subject matter and to report necessary and relevant information to all members of the board. So at this time, we have one signed up, Apostle Chambers.
Once again,
Good evening.
I'll only take just a brief second or two. I had two things I wanted to bring to your attention. First of all, we came here about 5-6 months ago and did a presentation for your board concerning the Gerald Faison ball fields, and just kind of wanted an update. I had the pleasure of speaking to Attorney Forbes a couple times in the bank. You know, he approached me and talked to me about a few things. I talked to him earlier tonight, and I just wanted to see where you guys were. I think you guys were waiting on a deed or something, and then I would be contacted as to how you guys were gonna, dispose of the property. So I just kind of wanted to get an update.
Yes, sir. I'm going to refer to our attorney. I did follow up with him probably 2 weeks ago on this exact issue, so I'm going to let him tell you where we are in this process.
Okay.
At this time, it appears, and I confirmed that again tonight with Mr. Harrington, there's no one deed for this piece of property. And I confirmed that with Mr. Flake, Mike Flake, and also with Mike Harrington, one of the surveyors here. He just happened to be one of the people I knew that could give me a quick answer, and so he did. To have the property surveyed, it would cost somewhere around under $3,000 is what he said. He doesn't know how many acres it is. He thinks it's 3.4. We don't have a deed. There was reports of a deed, but nobody's been able to find a deed. And that is exactly what was told to me. And I finally got confirmation just today from Mr. Harrington about that. The begs the question, and would the commission want to pay for a survey, or do you want to get the school board to pay for the survey? Before it can be transferred, it has to be surveyed.
So the school don't actually know what they have because they don't have a deed.
That is what was told to me.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure on proceeding forward?
So really, the school system don't know how much even land they're gonna give us to sell for them.
The way I,
Can I say something?
the way I interpret it is, yes, they don't know what they're trying to give us because they don't know what they have. It's my opinion that I would think the school board would survey out a property if they're wanting to give it away, or I still argue the school board could sell the property and take us out of the equation. But I think the first step is they must get it surveyed, and I would think that would fall on them, is my opinion. Now, obviously, the
I
board.
agree. I think it's their job to survey it, I believe.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to say, I think there's a little misconception. The 3.4 acres is a property that we already own. I've already talked with Mr. Harrington about finding out points for the property that we already own. The school, the ball fields are actually 9.3 acres of property, and they've already. When I first spoke with them, I got the sheet from the assessor's office and took it to the meeting with me, and that's what I presented to them. It's a baseball field and a football field, and so the actual acreage is 9.3 acres of land. So I think there's a misconception because I had Matt Harrington to come down. He was trying to find the points to save the church money from trying to pay for a survey, and then he told me, well, I can't find the points, so we have to do a survey. I said, well, when you get a chance, you'll do it. He said, okay. So I think there's a misconception there about what's what. Because what we have now is 3.4 acres. That's what we own already.
Yes.
And what we're asking for is a 9.3.
So y'all have a deed for 3.4.
Right.
But there's no deed located for the 9.3 acres?
Right.
I asked the surveyor and I asked Mike Flake. Mike Flake said that there was not a deed with that surveyed out that he had. Plus, I'll say this, it would probably be proper to have a survey done on any piece of property that you're gonna transfer in or out of your ownership, all right? There's problems before with not the county per se, but any type of land when you think you're buying something and you're not. The 3.4, I apologize, I'll defer to you saying that. I asked the surveyor about this property. They've done some other things. We talked to the same surveyor, and he must have misunderstood my question. He said he just texted me 3.4. I would say that $3,000 is off the table if it's 9-something acres, be my guess. Because they usually do that by acres. So I'll correct that.
But the same thought process is if they're going to give away 9.3 acres, they should, one, locate a deed, or two, have it surveyed to know what they're giving away, correct?
I'll put that back to them then.
Is that the board's consensus?
Oh, yes, sir.
So, okay. So,
I got time for the second one.
yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And my second little brief thing is I live at 1098 Brown Creek Church Road, the Markenberg Hill community, and my house is exactly 1 mile from 52. Several years ago, I think the town of Waynesboro controls the sewer. They did the sewer, but it's called county, but that's outside of the city limits. They came about a half a mile on Brown Creek Church Road, and they stopped the county sewer right there. There's about 27 or 28 other families that live down that road, and our soil is called Bull Tabor. It's a very clay-like soil. Sometimes the houses up on the hill where I live in the bottom, I'm the last house at the bottom before you go on the curb. There's been times I have walked out, and there's a ditch that runs from the top of the hill down. And when their septic tanks are not working right, there's raw sewage in those ditches. Now, raw sewage is very dangerous, and it's got a lot of bacteria. So my question is what are the steps needed to be taken to try to get the county sewer to be extended? I'm not saying that all 28 families would jump on the sewer, but I think they need to, because that's very hazardous to health. Last year, I had my son and daughter. I have a 8 acre plot adjacent to my house, and I went to environmental health, pulled a permit. They did the perk test, and it was borderline, and they recommended a soil scientist. A gentleman came from Raleigh, Mike, I think it's the last name, Michael Woods, I believe. I'm not really sure, but the cost of that pump system is $45,000, and it has to be maintained every 12 months. So I was just wondering, I spoke with Commissioner Ellaby. He's our commissioner for our area, and I'm just here just to see what would be the possibility of them extending that sewer. I'm sure those families, I don't know if I need to start a petition or to see how many people would actually want it, but I think it would be safer for that community, because the land does not perk well. Unfortunately, I have a septic tank myself, and before the law changed a couple years, or 2019, they made me double the line. So I had 750 feet of drain off line, and I don't have any more problems, but everybody just can't do that, you know.
Yes, sir.
So I was just wondering what, you know, what are the necessary steps have to be taken?
That's something that the manager can discuss with environmental health. I will tell you a rule of thumb that I have learned since being in this position is a sewer line roughly is about $1 million a mile. So you think that 45,000 is a lot, $1 million a mile is a lot of money for a sewer line too. And it still has to be maintained and, you know, treated every month. So, but he can look into it and see what, you know, what the possibility of that is. There's a formula that figures into it on how, in other words, if we extend water or sewer to somebody, are we going to recoup that money, or so it depends on how many houses are on that, you know.
Well, the county water is already down there. It stopped halfway and they stopped right there, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he can look into it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our public addresses to the board. So now we're going to move into our administrative matters. You have on the agenda the 2026 board calendar. We have to adopt the board or the calendar for the next year. If you'll get that pulled up, there's one point of discussion we need to have so if you notice on the calendar that's presented now, there's 3 meetings in November, but we need to change that. In other words, we agree, or we have in the past agreed to have 2 meetings every month. The reason we're holding a meeting tonight on a Monday instead of a regular Tuesday night is because this is the first Monday after what would be an election. General statute states that any elected official will be sworn in the first Monday in December following a November election. Coincidentally, we don't have anybody sworn in tonight at the county level, but in the past, we thought it would be easier just to make the meeting the first Monday of every month, or first Monday of every December from here going forward. That way we don't flip-flop Monday to Tuesday on even year, odd year. So looking at the calendar ahead, in December of 2026, that'll be the December after a November election, at which point there'll be some county officials elected or sworn in. What is the board's pleasure on holding a meeting? If it's the first Monday in December, that puts it on December the 7th. You can tell them if we revert back to our following schedule, it would be the third Tuesday, which is really a week later, which will be on December the 15th. So what's the board's thoughts on?
What's the purpose of having 3 in November?
In other words, we don't need to have that meeting on the 30th.
Our board meeting would be December the 7th.
December the 7th.
Yeah.
And
I just only have 1 meeting in the month of December and follow back in January with 2 meetings.
So we would have a December 7th meeting and not have one the following Tuesday, which would be the 15th.
Or we can just, for the year of 26, move the meeting to the 1st and have the meeting on the 15th.
No, you
because
have
the
to
first
meet on that first Monday, so that would be the 7th.
Well, if we meet on the first Monday, we just stick to the first Monday, and that'll be the only time we meet in December.
And just cancel the meeting on the November 30th.
If we have to meet we have to meet the first Monday.
You technically, by law, we do not have to meet on the first Monday in December.
They have to be sworn in by
law. The new commissioners or new elected officials must be sworn in the first Monday of December.
Or by the first Monday.
On the first Monday.
On the first. I'm asking.
Until
the first. So you have to.
After that,
okay.
you can't do it before that.
I got you.
Yes.
So we just meet December 7th on our, if we've got.
December 7th, I have another meeting in December and just cancel the November 30th meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, we just have December 7th
Just
meeting.
that 1 meeting.
Okay. Mr. Stossman, you got?
I was just going to suggest too that if you do that for December the 7th, then you could always call a special meeting if something comes up that's like an emergency or whatever. Just 48-hour notice.
Later on in December if we needed to.
Right.
We only did 1 anyhow until we voted to do 2.
Okay. So the board's okay with having a meeting December 7th, which is the first Monday in December. The new officials will be sworn in, and then we'll do away with the December 15th meeting and only have 1 meeting that month in December.
That's correct. And remove the meeting in
In
November
November,
30th.
yeah,
November.
off the calendar,
We're gonna cancel the 30th, right?
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, there's no way you meet 3 times in 1 month.
Are there any other conflicts? That was the only one that caught my eye, but there may be some others if y'all have caught something.
Do y'all feel it may be necessary to meet more than once in December?
I was saying unless an emergency come up that we need to have a special meeting.
Okay. So we'll just plan for that one meeting.
Yeah.
We can play it by ear. I'd say, we could always recess if we need to.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, we can recess the December 7th meeting, or we can call a special meeting if we have to, if there's some business.
Is that something we need to put in a motion?
We will if there's no other conflicts on any other months.
All the other months are first and third Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, every other month, every other meeting will be the first and third Tuesday of the month, except for the first Monday in December.
Right. So
And that's just to align with the general statute, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but.
I think
Okay. So yeah, so we do need a motion to approve this
all right.
calendar with the amendments.
yeah, I make a motion we approve the calendar with the amendment of removing the meeting on November 30th and scheduling the meeting for December on the first Monday, December the 7th.
I second it.
And remove December 15th meeting.
Yes, and remove December 15th meeting. Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Ellerby to approve the calendar with the changes of removing November 30th meeting, holding the first meeting in December on December the 7th, and then not having a second meeting in the month of December. Do we have a second? We have a second by Commissioner Little Reed. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Thank you, motion passes. Okay, takes care of administrative matters, so we're gonna move on to the manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item that I have, a lot of it was put together by Mr. Wendell Small, because he placed it on Gov Deals, and the piece of property is 605 McLaurin Street. And when the bid's finished and all the smoke cleared, the highest bid received was $103,000.
103?
$103,000. Now, what Gov Deals do, what their practice is they add what I call a buyer's premium, which does not cost us a penny because you'll still net $103,000. They'll add, just in case we had any questions, they'll add $7,725 to it, which is their cost for doing business, advertising, managing, and so forth. So that's why I call it a buyer's premium. So what you have to do tonight, if you decide that it's worthwhile to sell it for $103,000 net to the county, then you would need a motion, second, and a vote.
You said how much? How much did you say?
$103,000.
And that's the building down there with the old water place.
Oh,
Is
no,
that the
the
building?
old water plant's coming next.
Oh, okay.
And that one's not been advertised yet because Mr. Small is still working diligently to get all the gasoline out of the tanks.
Yeah, this is the old permitting office, used to be an EMS base,
That's correct.
right beside Cooperative Extension. So I surely hope there's no hesitation in accepting this.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion
I
to
second
accept the
it.
bid for $103,000.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Gatewood, second by Commissioner. Yes, thank you. So we have a motion by Commissioner Gatewood, second by Commissioner Ellerby, to approve the sale of 605 McLaurin Street for $103,000. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is for discussion purposes because, as you know, every year the board does something relative. I think years ago, several years back, it did like a gift card, and it changed over to $100 bonus for each employee. And this year, in order for everybody to net around $100, it's $150. And so the discussion had come up as to whether or not you might want to increase that amount or not. So if there is no movement to increase it, then it would remain at $150.
So we currently have budgeted the $150 Christmas bonus for each employee.
Correct.
Okay. Any discussion on that from the board? Okay. We're hearing none. Do we need a motion since it's already budgeted?
It's already budgeted, so I'm not sure unless Mr. Forrest, no, you don't need one. You're ready, you're good to go.
So the amount for the bonus for all county employees would be
For all full-time county employees, $150.
And it's tax.
And just as
And it-
another point of interest, the finance department, Miss Barry, Miss Borges here tonight. Miss Barry, I still have, I'm getting used to it. But, she has already put together the, longevity pay that will take place this Wednesday. So not to confuse anybody, you've got longevity, which is gonna be this Wednesday, and then I guess in a couple of weeks, then 2 weeks will be the, cause we have several, every other pay period, they get paid everybody gets paid every other week. So
Yeah.
they're trying to work them in so that they're not all jumbled together.
So
Okay.
was the increase to 3,000, is that on this one or that's not on this one?
But the longevity that you're talking
Yeah.
about will be this coming Wednesday. That's
Okay.
separate from the bonus.
But that's the 3,000.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I was just trying to, cause they were asking me.
And this would, I guess, pretty much handle the discussions about Christmas bonuses in general.
The Christmas bonus was just to see if there was any decision by the board to change it from 150 to something else.
Now, is this 150 tax? This is my first year, I think, being a part of a
Yes,
Christmas
it is
bonus.
taxed.
So the 150 would end up being a little less than that ultimately.
That's right.
Which is why it used to be 100, and we bumped it to 150. That way every employee nets $100. Now, some's more than that, but do I?
Right, it depends on their deductions, their tax bracket, if you will.
Yeah. So, I mean, I personally would love to give each employee a lot more than that, but at this time, with the current financial state of the county, I don't think it's very prudent that we give more money than that.
And that's another reason, because the LGC, I know I've said this at the last several meetings, they still have not promulgated the guidance that they put out for every year. So the one for 2025 has not been done. I have talked to Representative Brody about it. He has no more clue as we have as to when it will be done. They'll go back in session in January, and one of the first items on their list to do is to adopt a budget if they can do it, and that's what the LGC is waiting on.
Okay. So yeah, we don't even know what goalpost we've got to meet yet. So.
The goalposts keep moving.
Okay. Well, like I said, if we don't need a motion since the bonus is already budgeted in there, then unless there's any other discussion, we'll move on. All right. Anything else under the manager's report?
I don't have anything else unless there's any questions.
Any questions for the manager at this time? All right. Here none, we'll move on to chairman's report. I just got 2 items. I just want to bring awareness to the American Red Cross blood drive that's going to be held here in the county, December the 11th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It'll be at the Anson County Emergency Services Training Room out on Country Club Road. Just wanted to, like I said, bring awareness to that for all the, obviously the board, but obviously the citizens listening as well. Board meeting that is going to be held next Tuesday, December 16th, for our next board meeting. Just want to, again, make you aware that has been moved to the courthouse across the street, courtroom number 1. That is the night that we will hear the solar farm special use permit. So we're anticipating a larger crowd, so that's why we chose to move it to the courtroom. We'll have some seats set up. Audio is supposed to be taken care of, so should have everything we need over there. Like I said, same time, 6 p.m. Just moved across the street.
Will there be a video of the meeting, Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Adams or Mr. Addison, do you?
IT is currently working on establishing a video for webcasting. All indications are right now that it will be casted.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And like I said, that concludes my chairman's report. So we'll move into commissioner concerns or comments.
Just a reminder that the Christmas parade is December 4th. That's Waysboro and Liesville will be December the 9th at 6 p.m. Waysboro will be at 5:30 p.m. and Liesville will be at 6 p.m.
And I have an invitation from Dr. Ratliff to all of the elected officials, including this board. They are having a leadership summit somewhat with elected officials and the school board to just get some information to collaborate on how making Anson County a better place. So that is something to be noted.
Is that a 10?
December the 10th,
Yep.
11 a.m. to, I think, 12:30. It's going to be at the Board of Education. I thought that was a good strategic planning meeting for elected officials.
Yes, sir. That is correct. So I think everybody received an email on that. So
Yeah.
something we should partake in.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other commissioner concerns, comments? All right. Yes.
The county's closing this Thursday for the Christmas parade at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Thursday, December the 4th. The county offices will be closed in order to make preparations for the Christmas parade. So thank you for that. Any other comments at this time? All right. Hearing none, then I do not believe we have an item for closed session tonight. So I'll entertain a
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Have a motion by Commissioner Ellaby. We'll say second by Commissioner Little Reed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.